How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And it is Tuesday here on the show, and you know what that means? We got a lot to talk about. Raw was last night, and we got more for WrestlePalooza. And in fact, we may have a whole card. One match has not been announced, but Triple H kind of sort of revealed a lot on a appearance on the Pat McAfee show today. So we'll tell you the lineup for that show. There's a lot of lineups for a lot of shows coming up and a lot of big matches. So we're going to go over all of that today, including the TNA Impact lineup for September 11th, as Lance Storm will be joining us on the show today. The dulcet tones of his voice, but maybe not video as he can't get his camera working. But we will find an appropriate photograph of Lance to use on the program here today. So that is that. We got NXT tonight. We got Dynamite tomorrow. We got some news, including the rating for the SmackDown show, which did extremely well because AJ Lee returned. We'll tell you about that, as well as AW Tag Team title match. We'll be headlining CMLL this coming Friday. We've got the Raw Report as noted with a bunch of matches for WrestlePalooza. And we will take your feedback. Might have time for a lot of feedback today. Not a ton of news going on. So if you would like to join the show, a lot of ways to do so. You can text us. 425-780-7566 is the phone number. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline@gmail.com. F4WOnline Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. $10 cameos. At Bryan Alvarez on X and Blue Sky. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Back at the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance Storm is kind of joining us here today. What's going on, Lance?
I'm here in mind and body, but not video.
Yeah, what's going on? What's with this computer?
I do not know. For some reason, it decided it would not recognize my camera today, and I've restarted it and just waiting for the email to load. I should be back in here very quickly.
You rebooted it? The camera works?
No, I've rebooted it and got everything open, so now I'm going to try to connect and see if it recognizes my camera or not.
Well, let's see what's going on here.
See.
We're just going to wait.
Perfect. It does seem to have acknowledged me.
Oh, look at that. See? That's the answer. The answer is always, Lance, reboot the computer. That seems to be the magic.
Perfect.
All right. Well, we're going to start with everyone's favorite topic here briefly, and that is ratings. I know this irritates people, but this is notable this week. I'm going to tell you why. So, this past Saturday's Collision... This past Saturday's Collision did 300,000 viewers. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
Up 91.1% from the week prior. 18 to 49 did a .07, which is up 75% from last week. This is the best audience since July 26th and the best 18 to 49 since August 9th. And there was competition from college football on several cable and network stations airing head-to-head. And, I don't want to say, because, listen, I could sit here and just try and say I was right and everything like that, but the fact is, listen, we don't really know, okay? We don't really know. But they advertised a full Collision card. We had 4 or 5 matches prior to Collision, and the show did significantly better. The week prior, when it did a record low, we did Fun Friday, and we had 0, goose egg, no matches whatsoever for Collision. Nothing. We had nothing announced for Collision. And you can go back and track if you want, but there was a period where they started advertising matches. It was like a 2-week period. They started advertising matches for Dynamite. This was, I think, at the end... I think this might have been going into the ECW arena. But the point is, they had like 2 weeks, and the show did fine. And then, for whatever reason, after 2 good weeks of advertising matches, they stopped again. And in both cases, Dynamite and Collision, the show died with nothing announced. Well, now they've announced a bunch of stuff for Collision, and Collision did better. And obviously, some of this stuff they advertised, you could say, well, Jon Moxley, he was on the show the week prior when they did the record low. They did Jon Moxley and Daniel Garcia 2 weeks in a row. 1 week, they did a big advertising push for it. The other week, they didn't. And the reason they did, the show did significantly better. So this coming Wednesday, we already have 4 segments announced. 4 matches, actually. And so we'll find out Wednesday. If Dynamite does much better on Wednesday, I think we really need to think about the value of advertising matches in advance. Now,
so you should take into consideration promotion when promoting your promotion.
Yes, I've said this 1,000 times. Tony Khan is supposed to be the booker and the promoter, but he's only the booker. He doesn't promote. And you need to promote as a promoter. And they promoted Collision, and the show did better. Now, you know what's ironic? The SmackDown show also did very well, up 38%. The 18 to 49 did a .51, which is up 82%. The best of the show was done since April 18th. And this is kind of an irony, but it's not. It's all because of AJ, who they didn't advertise. All right?
But they let you know.
That's the point. Nobody going into SmackDown was unaware that there was a very good chance that we talked about it on Friday. AJ's going to be on the show. Brock Lesnar is going to be on the show. It's exactly like CM Punk's debut in AEW. Like, they didn't say this person's going to be on the show, but they pretty much told you that these things were going to happen.
They purposefully leaked her merch. I guarantee you that was not a mistake.
Well, The point is, hey, you know what? Then they advertised AJ, and they did a great number. She is the reason for that number. The show did very, very well. So after a week of every show except NXT dying, well, we're back to shows doing well again. So I would mention one other thing as well, which is, you guys remember the one show that didn't die last week? Anybody remember?
You said it was NXT.
NXT. And you know what NXT has that none of these other shows have? They always have a ton of matches announced by the time NXT goes off the air. I'm just saying. They had a full card. They had like 6-7 things announced going into last week's show, and they were the one show that survived the violent skewering of all professional wrestling. I should also mention that one quick thing here. Every week, Brandon Thurston has a Raw data report. And, you know, of course, Dave's got his formula, which I'll say this thing about Dave's formula. He is just doing division based on what Netflix posts. And I don't know what Netflix is doing, but like the math, it does actually not work. But the point of this is Brandon Thurston has a Raw viewership report that he does every week, and he's actually got an explanation. And he even adds here, hours viewed divided by runtime does not consistently reconcile to Netflix's report of global views. That's true. But anyway, he's got a formula of his own. And if you look at it, Raw last week, September 1st, did 1.4 million viewers, which actually sounds like what you would think Raw does. And, you know, it's been somewhat consistent dating back to May. So he's got the show averaging about, 1.5, 1.6 million every week. The September 1st show did poorly, but, it's going up against football now, so that would explain that. But I think this is a much better, this is much closer to what I think Raw is doing than I think, Dave's formula came up to like 180,000 viewers in the U.S., which is like, it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. So 1.4 million sounds about right, because it's not like they aren't drawing people to the buildings. It's not like people aren't into the stars or the show or whatever. So it seems that Raw is doing, prior to football season, right around 1.6 million viewers every week. And now that football has started, they're going to struggle. It'll probably be about 1.4 million. And those are your numbers. So there you go. By the way, I wasn't going to bring this up because we talked about it on the Dave Show, but did you ever meet Chuck Coates?
No, I did not.
Mad Max, Russian Assassin, Stormtrooper, Hans Hessler, Agent Max.
I don't believe so anyway. It's possible one of the post-retirement matches he could have been on the undercard, but I don't recall.
Or he could have been on one of those WCW shows, just backstage as enhancement. Because he did WWF and WCW enhancement matches for a long time. And another person this week that passed away due to heart problems. So all the best to his friends and family. 63 years old. Kind of worked all over the place for a long time. But that was Chuck Coates. Passed away yesterday morning. All right, when we come back, we're going to do some news. We'll do the Raw report. We'll talk about some upcoming lineups, including Impact. Hey, they got some matches announced in advance. That's always good. Joe Hendry versus Eric Young and Moose and AJ Francis. Moose and AJ Francis.
Vinny's going to be so excited.
Back in a moment. Observer Live. Check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe.
If Truth didn't have the best weekend in this company, then Mr. Iguana did.
Oh, yeah, this guy is over, dude.
We'll get to him in the Worlds Collide review. But
he's got merch up on WWE shop.
He's going to make so much
He's got these
money.
kids that want to see more Mr. Iguana.
Yeah. So
his face paint is so funny.
I must stop you right here. It's not face paint.
Oh, would you stop?
It's head paint.
Yeah,
He paints his whole damn head.
It looks like he's he gets held upside down and they just dunk his head in green paint.
Yes.
It's absolutely bizarre.
And when he's not wrestling, he wears the round silver spectacles.
Yes.
And
he
flicks his tongue constantly.
Yes.
As an iguana would. And Del Toro and Octagon do whatever, and people are patient, but they don't care. And then Iguana tags in, and they are hyped. It took about 7 seconds to make himself my favorite luchador. He starts, I forget who he's in there with, but the guy offers a handshake, and so he licks it because he's an iguana, and then he gets hit with a shoulder tackle, or it's a chop. He takes a chop, he drops to his back, he sticks all 4 limbs straight in the air.
Yes.
He's playing dead like an iguana would. So then he brings in the puppet. I didn't get the puppet's name. I should have used it 50 times. But it's an iguana puppet that he thinks is real. Well, sometimes.
Already up on WWE Shop.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know if Harley Cameron's doll is on the AEW?
I do not know.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
So he starts doing spots with the puppet in his mouth. He lets the puppet try to get the pin. And amidst all the silliness, Conan says, you know this, Mr. Iguana, he's most popular with children.
I liked how as soon as the puppet started doing spots, Corey Graves goes, is that legal in Mexico? And without skipping a beat, Conan goes, yes.
Low on the list of things you will see in a Lucha Libre match, especially in AAA. So he starts using the puppet more as a weapon, or as a distraction, I should say. But it ends up with Lince Dorado getting a hold of this puppet, and he snaps. And he stomps the puppet. And he grabs the puppet. And he Spanish flies the puppet. This crowd is outraged. They're pissed. They're furious. But you know he's even more pissed and furious?
It got more heat than anything else. Maybe on the entire show,
Mr.
Actually.
Goddamn Iguana.
They were
who's
furious.
Seething and his eyes are breaking out. And he snaps and just rips ass. He grabs his own lizard and is whipping these guys with it. And then they remember it's just a puppet and they stop selling.
This was a very, very fun match. I liked it a lot. And there's a lot to learn here about marketing.
Yeah.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance is joining us. We got NXT tonight, flag match. Sean's going right into that old basket of tricks. The old flag match. Ethan Page and Tavion Heights. Which it's a flag match. I don't think the title's on the line, so I think Tavion's got to win. And then that sets up the title match. We got Fatal Influence versus Tizzy, Tatum and Izzy.
Terrible.
And Zaruka. Did this start with like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie? Is this where we get all these stupid names where it's like we just got to merge everyone's name together? Like it'd be okay if like one team did it, but now all of them have to do it.
I think it started like back when Vince basically killed tag team wrestling. And there weren't any actual, Road Warriors, Midnight Express teams. And it was just the 2 single guys mashed together for 4 months. So that's when you got the Jarrah Show and Tizzy. And just because no one's actually a full-blown team. Where at least like the Street Profits, they debuted as a team, so they have a team name. But when you're just single stars mushed together, they mush together names like Tizzy.
Lame.
Yes.
Sucks.
I'm glad I was an Impact player, not whatever name you'd come up with.
Let's see. It was you and
Just Incredible.
Let's see. That'd be
The Incredible Storm.
Storm Edible.
There you go. That might get over today.
Storm Edible. Actually, that might.
People like their edibles.
Javon versus Josh Briggs. Fabi Apache and Laney Reed in a speed tournament match. I can't even make some of these up. Trick Williams and a mystery partner confront DIY in a bizarre setup for that, as the babyfaces were total heels to poor Trick. And then Dark State versus Hank and Tank for the tag team titles. So that's tonight. Wednesday Dynamite, Hangman and Josh Alexander non-title. Tony Storm and Sky Blue in a Philly street fight, which I presume is non-title. Shelton Benjamin and Ricochet, and Mercedes and Emi Sakura versus Riho and Alex Windsor. So that's Wednesday. And then, like I said, Thursday, Joe Hendry, Eric Young, and Moose and AJ Francis. Golly.
Big hoss fight there.
That's a mean guy match if I ever saw one. Then Worlds Collide Friday. I can't wait for this show. Is it too late to drive down? Vikingo versus Dominic for the mega title. Psycho Clown and Pagano against Kofi and Xavier the New Day. The Reina de Reinas #1 contenders match, Natty and Fabi Apache. Mixed tag, Finn and Roxanne versus Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice. Ehode Dr. Wagner Jr. defends the Latin American title against Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, and Ethan Page in a 4-way. And then a Lucha Showcase with La Parca, Masquerita Sagrada, Nino Hamburguesa, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wilde, Lince Dorado, Mini Abismo Negro, and not Octagon Jr., as he almost got killed by Pagano. So it looks like he's going to be out of action for a while. Like sat on his face. Pagano's forte is not moves. It's kind of... I'm trying to figure out... Someone had an idea for you and Val Venus.
We were a tag team at one point in time. Although, actually, I was a tag team partner of Chief Morley's as well as Val Venus's.
Steenus?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. There's got to be something with that one. All right. Got a couple of news notes here. Triple H was on Pat McAfee's show. And he said, I'll give you a spoiler right now. Cody will be back in Indianapolis. And so, obviously, Brandy just recently gave birth, and so he's been off the road for a little while. But it is believed that that's going to be the Cody-Drew McIntyre match. That'll be at WrestlePalooza. They are doing the Drew McIntyre-Randy Orton match on SmackDown Friday, which is a pretty big match for SmackDown to do that match.
Smart that they advertise it ahead of time.
Yeah, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. Also, there's a title match with Tiffany and Jade, and Brock Lesnar appears, which is interesting because Brock will be there, but Cena will not. So, I guess he's just going to do a promo or something like that. We also have the the AEW tag team titles on the line. They're doing a show in Mexico City, and Bandito and Brody King will be facing Zondakan Jr. and Defunto. That's the main event of the show, an AEW tag title match. A bunch of other matches on the show as well, but that's coming up on Friday.
Come on, we were making fun of amalgamated names. At least push Brodito.
There's another one. That's at least, that one I'm all right with. Brodito. But not sure about the rest of all of these. All right, if you have questions for the show, everybody, we got a few minutes before the Raw report. We like to save that for the last segment, right? Oh. Mm-hmm. So apparently Octagon Jr.'s doctor cleared him. So he may be on the show. All right. Listen, I'm not a doctor. Whatever his doctor says. But, I don't know, man. 425-780-7566 is the text message line. That is 425-780-7566. F4WOnline@gmail.com. Whatever's on your mind, we can talk about it here today. Lal Steenus is this guy's name for you and Val. That sounds terrible.
Yes. It's bad enough that a guy with the first name Lance is doing a gimmick with a porn star.
This person here says, didn't Danielson retire to be with his daughter? Commentary every week still takes just as much time away from home. I'm not saying he needs to wrestle or anything like that. Well, I think also, I can tell you this about daughters. They do start to get older, and next thing you know, they're in school all the time. And then some after-school activity. And I think 1 day a week on the road doing commentary. I mean, clearly he's willing to do it.
Especially if it's a Wednesday and she's in school.
Yeah.
Like, weekends are when you're going to want to be home to spend time with your kids.
I mean, listen, here's the other thing, too, okay? The guy's doing commentary, all right? So what that means is he can fly in and out the same day. Now, if he were a wrestler and he was in a main event segment, I mean, maybe you'd want to fly him in the day before just in case there's, travel issues and you don't want to lose out on a big match. But, like, as a commentator, something goes wrong, he can't make the show, I mean, it's not the end of the world. So I think that he can just get in and out on one day and be back home. So
yeah,
that's...
He'd need less prep during the day, too.
Yeah.
So getting in mid-afternoon, catching an early flight Wednesday morning would be a piece of cake for him.
Yeah, any prep he needs to do is he can do on the plane. I mean, he knows everything about everybody anyway, so he could easily just fly in late in the day, fly out as soon as the show's over, get out of there. I don't think they make him take down the ring.
I wouldn't suspect so, no.
It's possible.
I think he's paid enough dues at this point in time in his career, accomplished enough. He's not on ring crew.
I will say that I did hear, and this was all speculation, but I heard from one person that said, if this guy is going back on the road 1 day a week, that suggests that they think Bree's coming back for sure for her 1 day a week. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. All right, this person says, are you going to review Anniversario for Bryan and Vinny as a comparison to Triple Mania? I guess we could try. We are going to review the Worlds Collide show this weekend. I'll tell you that much. And I would be willing to review the CMLL Anniversary show. So we'll do that here at some point, I'm sure.
Craig won't be happy if you add another show.
Too bad, brother. Well, it's not adding. He just doesn't watch the other shows. If he has to watch the AAA show, he's just not going to watch SmackDown and Collision. That's how he gets around it. I can't even read what this person said your name should be. I'll tell you during the break. It has to do with your other gimmick. What is Lance's thought about Jon Moxley as a heel, but in reality he's a babyface?
I don't watch it enough to comment too much, but it's odd. I've had it explained to me a few times, and I don't fully get it because it falls into that weird category of if he's a baby or he's trying to be a babyface by saving the company, you have to accept the premise that the company is not good right now. And I've never liked the we need to turn things around angle.
Well, let me, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much that he's trying to save the company. I probably have said that myself in explaining this. But I think it's more that this Moxley character just wants it to be its best, and he wants new people to step up. It's not so much like it sucks.
It's not as good as it should be.
No.
And talent aren't doing as well as they should be.
Listen.
Like, that's an odd story to tell.
Listen, is WWE doing great right now?
Not as great as they were.
Well, I mean, business-wise.
They're doing fantastic.
They're on fire, okay? But they still have a developmental because they know we're going to always need new talent. We're always going to need new stars. Doesn't mean it sucks now. It just means we got to set the table for the future. That's more what he's doing. Like, I'm not going to...
He's not feuding with developmental people.
No, but his point is, like, I'm not going to be around forever.
If he was in Ring of Honor telling them to step up because AEW needs a future, then that'd be different.
His deal is, I'm not going to be around forever. Like, you want to be champion? You want to replace me? Fine. Well, do it. You either do it or I'll kill you. That's essentially it. He's rooting for these people. He's looking for someone so he can just go retire to the farm. All right, back in a moment. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Well, we reviewed SmackDown yesterday, Tom, and you don't even get SmackDown. You're very, just, you know how you are. Fine. Whatever. I don't care. Whatever.
That's your impression of me?
Yeah, that's my impression of you.
Wow.
So what are we, at least, I hope you at least watch the SmackDown main event.
I watched the entire show.
Okay, because there's a lot of people that still like your review, Tom.
I went on the board, and I saw like 2 people.
Yeah, do you go on Twitter?
Yeah, I do go on Twitter,
You read my emails?
I do go on
the
Twitter.
Text messages? I mean...
Do you go on Twitter? Because if you do,
unfortunately, yes.
You would have seen one of the greatest moments in world history.
History, really.
World history. Frank Tate walked away the victor of the fight, but he walked away an even bigger winner when it comes to life. This man completed what I would say is the best high five, the best dap up in the history of the galaxy. This man had his dog. And when I say dog,
barely a dog.
I mean D-O-G and D-A-W-G. This was a dog, baby. The dog was so proud. You can see just the elation in that dog's face. He threw that paw up. He let it hang for a few moments, and then he brought it down for the dap.
Tom's not even doing this justice. Everyone has seen a dog, like you put your hand out and the dog like puts his paw up to shake hands. This freaking dog goes, ah, hoppa! Like, what? That was more than a high five. I don't even know what you would even term that. He dunked. He dunked that man.
30 million views on this clip. And that is about 1/10 of what it should have. So if you haven't seen it, you deserve it. Treat yourself. Go to my Twitter. Watch Frank Tate high five his dog.
No, he did not high five his dog.
The dog high fived him.
His dog high fived him. Yes. He just wanted like a, just boom. And this dog was like, no way, brother. You knock that man out. I'm going to give you a big time dunking high five from way up high. You go high five, up high, down low, too slow. This was an up high. Guy should have pulled his hand away.
It's the best thing you've ever seen.
Man, too slow, Joe. Yeah, it was pretty good. Not going to lie. I liked it. Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Lance, what did you think of Monday Night Raw? The usual.
It was okay. I feel like I'm watching the audience more than I am a show far too often. Like, I get that it's fun for the audience to wave their hands and yeet, but I get tired of just watching fans yeeting or fans reacting or fans singing. I tune in to watch the stars and watch the wrestling, and I find I sit there watching the fans more than I would care to.
My big issue is this, Lance. These matches, dude.
Four of them all had the same finish.
Yeah, it's like it's the same. And to be fair, I mean, they do run-ins everywhere, but like, I think the problem is, even though they do run-ins everywhere, they're so patterned in WWE. It's like they have a patterned run-in leading to the finish deal. It's not even like it's different every time. And the other thing is, from the comeback on, I actually think WWE has been booking some good stuff lately. If you take out the run-ins, they've really kind of stepped up that period from the comeback to the finish. There's more twists and turns now, and
to their credit, last night they gave us finishes at least, but there was 4 minor involvement from the person at ringside leading to the heel going over.
Yeah.
And they were pinfalls at least, but very similar.
But my point is, that from the comeback to the finish, I feel like the matches have they've kind of stepped it up a little bit in terms of putting them together. but it's at the expense of, from the bell ringing to the comeback, these matches are so boring. Like, they're so all exactly the same, and I'm just bored to tears. And then finally they do the big comeback, and like it takes me a while to get into it because I'm so bored leading up to it. And they got so much talent, and it just feels like, I don't know if I don't really want to blame the agents, but it does kind of feel like there's some laziness here where it's like, just do whatever for the first 9 minutes, and then let's concentrate on the stuff from the comeback forward.
I'm quite sure the agent/producer isn't telling them that.
Well, I don't think they're telling them that like on purpose, but it's probably the wrestlers also know that like the first 5 minutes is going to be during a commercial, and then you know
what it could be. And again, I'm speculating because obviously I'm not there, but I have seen it many times as a wrestler and as a producer that if you have a very busy day, whether the production meeting gets out late or you have a lot of pre-tapes, you have a lot of backstage stuff, that you're really, really busy. And obviously, if you're limited in time, you will, all right, let's put together the finish, let's put together our go home, let's get all these really good near falls, let's make it exciting. And if you're running out of time, it's like, okay, we'll figure out the rest out there. And the beginning doesn't get the time if you don't have a lot of time in the afternoon. And it's possible that with the high level of production and all the pre-tapes and stuff, that might be occupying a lot of their time, and they have to focus on the end and don't get to focus as much on the beginning.
The other thing that I'm not a big fan of is the whole main event scene on Raw with Braun. Listen, I think Braun Breaker is great. I thought he would be even further than he is already. It just took him a while. I think Bronson Reed is great, but they're so determined to get over Braun Breaker that you've got this two-person unit that's like, it's not even like the Hurt Syndicate where like they're killing all these jobber teams. It's like these dudes are out here killing all your main eventers. And, in a fair fight, the babyfaces get killed every time. Then a third babyface has to come out with a weapon. They still get killed. And then finally, when they manage to send the heels packing, then these three idiot babyfaces like screw everything up for each other. And it's like during the main event angle, the fans were actually chanting for Paul Heyman, the heel manager, because your babyfaces are so stupid and incompetent. So, I don't know. Anyway, it opened up with Jimmy and Jay coming out, and they make fun of Braun and Paul, and LA Knight ends up coming out to attack the heels, and they cut him off, and the Usos hit dives. And as always, in the middle of the babyfaces running wild 3-on-2 on these heels, somebody does something stupid, and LA Knight moves, and Jay gets squished. And then, even though it's clearly an accident, the entire story is Jay getting angry that LA got him. Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, if LA didn't move, they both would have got squished. Jay would not have benefited if LA Knight didn't move.
No. So then they sign LA Knight versus Bronson for the main event. At AJ and El Grande Americano, which, after the comeback, it was pretty good. And then another El Grande interfered. Dragon Lee ran down, got rid of him. And then AJ hit the Styles Clash and pinned El Grande. And last few minutes of this were very good.
And AJ, I believe, the only babyface that won tonight.
I believe so, yeah. We had Adam Pearce meeting with EO. Something's up with Stephanie. She was not on the show. They merely said she couldn't make it. He said she should be good for WrestlePalooza, but it's a mystery. So hopefully she's all right. And then we had Asuka and Kyrie showing up, and Nikki had been talking to EO, and Asuka told her to stay away from her. And so Nikki got angry, and then they got into a big argument, and it led to a match later on. There were 3 matches signed during the show, which means Adam Pearce had nothing planned. Then we had Lyra and Raquel, which I actually thought was one of the best matches on the show. I thought they worked great together. I thought they actually did a lot of different, unique things in this match. And finally, there was a minor distraction by Roxanne, and Raquel pinned her with the Tejano bomb. I thought they did a good job.
Mm-hmm. This was actually, I should mention, my very first exposure to Joe Tessitore.
Really?
Yeah.
I like Joe Tess.
I find him a little... His excitement level is fairly consistent, which to me feels a little unnatural. It doesn't go up and down as much with...
Give him a few weeks. See what you think about him.
Is he going to be regularly on Raw moving forward?
Well, until Wade... Actually, I don't know. He might be. I was told he's on Raw. So he may be permanently on Raw now. I guess
then I'll be able to give him a chance.
I guess we'll find out. We had an awesome segment with the War Raiders and Penta and Adam Pearce. I encourage everybody to watch this segment. It's Penta. He's very upset with Adam Pearce for not loving him like the fans do. And Adam Pearce is trying to plead his case. I do. I like you a lot. And Penta's not having it. Just shakes his head. Nope. And then he announces he does not like the Intercontinental Champion, demands a title shot. And then Rusev shows up and gets in Penta's face. And they announce a match for those guys for later on.
Are you aware of Adam Pearce's gimmick on social media? Where he posts "Love Somebody Today." This was a bit of a play on that.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, every day he posts "Love Somebody Today" on his socials.
Yeah. Penta's upset that he's not loving him. Big Jim met with AJ and Dragon Lee, and Jay ends up walking up. He's on his way out of the building, and Jim says, we need to work together. We're not going to get to WrestlePalooza. And Jay wants none of this, and he says he's leaving. He's out of here. Jimmy tells him, you're starting to sound like Roman. We had the AJ Lee segment to set up WrestlePalooza, and it's hard to time these segments because Netflix, they cut out commercials, and when they cut out commercials, the clock just jumps forward or whatever. So it's hard to figure out how long. I mean, it felt like they went 25 minutes. I mean, they knew that this thing was hot, and so it was like, we are going to milk this for all it's worth. And AJ came out, and she cut a long promo talking about her time off and therapy and everything that went down with Becky. And then Becky's music hits, and she comes out, and they go a long time. And then Seth's music hits, and he comes out, and he's being a jerk. And then finally CM Punk shows up. And long story short, Punk makes Seth so angry that Seth agrees to the mixed tag at WrestlePalooza, which Becky does not want. She does not want this match. She is petrified of AJ Lee. But the match is on, and so AJ, who had been wearing Becky's belt, which she stole on SmackDown, she did give the belt back. So I thought it was a good segment overall. It was just long.
Yeah, and somehow AJ Lee has aged weeks in the last 10 years.
Yeah, basically. She looks pretty much exactly the same. We had another Bayley segment. Then Rusev faced Penta, which was it was not as good as I expected. Just kind of there. And out was, they had New Day and Grayson Waller out there. And Penta went up top. Xavier jumped on the apron. Penta booted him. Got kicked on the way down, pinned. Your usual horrific WWE finish. I mean, this one was interference directly leading to the finish.
Well, yeah, and there was interference earlier because Penta had to dive out on the mall.
Had the Nikki Bella Asuka match, which actually they had a straight match, no interference, and a clean finish, and it was Asuka tapping her out with the Asuka lock.
There was a little bit of interference when Asuka hid behind Kyrie and used her as a distraction to
that did happen, but I don't count that because Kyrie wanted nothing to do with it. She was an innocent victim in all of this. But
yes, relatively clean.
Yeah, tap out from Nikki Bella, which surprised me. So I'm wondering if they need another female heel. I guess we'll find out.
You think they're going to turn Nikki heel?
Kind of. Kind of. And then Nikki and Asuka got into a big confrontation, and Rhea showed up to back up Nikki. So for the time being, looks like we're just going to have a tag program here. And also, Asuka versus Rhea is coming. And then the main event was Bronson Reed and LA Knight, which, same deal. I thought this match was pretty good. Like, Bronson is very good. Bronson is good in the ring and on the mic. Like, he carried that opening segment with Braun Breaker. And LA Knight has very much stepped up his game since coming to the main roster. And there was, of course, interference by Braun Breaker. He jumped up on the apron. LA knocked him off. Bronson grabbed the DVD, hit the pin. This was the exact same finish as the Penta match 2 matches earlier. Exact same finish. And that's when they did the big schmaz where 2 heels beat down 3 men with a chair. And the 3 men were the one with the chair. The 2 heels beat them up. And then finally they send them packing, and then the 3 baby faces are in the ring. And LA, who doesn't like anybody, is willing to shake Jimmy's hand for helping him. But then he turns around and Jay just spears a guy. That's his receipt from earlier in the evening, even though early in the evening was a mistake, and this was on purpose. So everyone booed Jay, you know. You've got an angle where they're booing Jey Uso. They're chanting for Paul Heyman. It's like, this ain't working. Whatever you're doing, it's not working right now.
They did yeet at the end, but yeah.
They did eat a little bit, but like...
Now, wasn't the Roxanne finish also a slight distraction into a finish?
It was a little bit of a distraction, but Roxanne was just like on the outside. I don't think she jumped all the way up on the apron like those other 2. Anyway, back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is he ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't
Let me in! Let me in!
It's fine. It's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock. Battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm.
Do you think?
But it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
in there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. So you got nothing this week. You're off the road, brother.
Yeah, and even the next loop I get to drive. We're in Edmonton next.
Wow.
No flights for me until Bound for Glory.
How did it go this past week?
It was a lot of fun. Really great crowd in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And this isn't a spoiler because it's been stooged off online. Ken Anderson made a surprise return to TNA, and I got to produce the match he was in. And it was a lot of fun working with him.
So he came back and wrestled.
He was there and wrestled. I won't give any more details because it hasn't aired yet, but there's spoilers everywhere online, so I'm not stooging anything off. But he was one of the guys I trained in OVW in like 04, 05, and it was a lot of fun getting to see him and produce with him.
Trying to see when the last time he had a match was.
It says he still wrestles occasionally, a couple times a month.
Let's see.
But I don't know the last time he was actually on a major platform on television.
Profight DB has 3 matches since 2019. That doesn't sound right.
3 matches since before the pandemic? I don't know.
Battleground Championship Wrestling on July 2025. Then you have to go all the way back to the Hardys reunion on May of 2022. So...
But he was a former 2-time TNA World Champ, and he made his return, and the crowd was quite happy about it.
How about that? Well, check out Impact on Thursday, everybody. And Lance is going to be back, I guess we'll see when. You got nothing to do, brother. I'm free on Thursday.
Well, I could probably sit in on Thursday.
I can plug some Impact.
Sure.
All right. We're going to wrap it up, everybody. And I'll be back later tonight. Brian and Vinny and Granny and Craig and Sean show. And there's an Observer Radio last night. Another one coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow, Observer Live with Tom. And that's it. We'll talk to you after a while.